Hey, Mark Rice here, and today, finally, I will do a drawing tutorial, but it will be different than usually I do. So lately I'm using two different styles. The first one is abstract, something that fits my inspiration and makes me better artist. The second one is more commercial, but clients love it. I have created so many good projects with it, from NFT collections to single illustrations. For the purpose of the tutorial, I will use iPad, I will use Procreate for sketching and Adobe Illustrator for vector drawings. But of course, you don't need iPad for these tutorials. You can sketch on a paper and later draw it and finish it on your computer. So I believe that this style can be very helpful for your art career. So enjoy the video. Okay, so the first step is a sketch, and you can do it in 1,000 different ways. You need a pen and a piece of paper, and that's it. Or in my case, an iPad. So if you can afford it, it will speed up your creative process a lot. In the beginning, I will use blue color for the pencil tool. This technique allows me to draw several lines until I find the right one, and repeat only the final lines with a black pencil. This is the time when I crystallize what I want. This is where the creative part of the drawing usually ends and the technical part begins. And if anyone is wondering which pen I use in Procreate, it's a 6B pen. But in the end, that doesn't really matter. What is important is the idea of the drawing or of the sketch and the emotion spread by that sketch. Now I will export the sketch in JPEG format and continue with the creation in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so I recently started using Adobe Illustrator on the iPad. It's very practical and it's more fun if you ask me. But you can do all this on your computer, of course. So first you must import the sketch into a separate layer and make it transparent. Then it will only be a guide until we are done with the vectors. For drawing, I will use the pen tool, and it's very important to choose a high level of smoothness. That will give you that professional look. And the stroke will be the color of the line, and I will also define the line's thickness. I like the end of the line to be rounded, but this is the matter of the style, so you don't need to do it if you don't want. As with the sketch, you should start with geometric shapes. In the end, thanks to that, the illustration will be nicer to the eyes. It will be so clean because of that. Once we have all the shapes in the right place, I usually add new points and delete some of the shapes between those points. And after that part, I use the pen tool and repeat it as often as necessary until I get the line I'm happy with. And that's usually the smoothest line I can get. It's important that the end of the line does not cross the line of the shape with it's connected. Ideally, that line should be connected to the middle of the line of the next shape. And I will explain why later. When I draw all the lines, the coloring begins. And these are the steps of that process. So first you need to delete the sketch. Then copy the layer with vector lines, lock the upper layer and turn off it for a moment. Make the thickness of the vector lines below thinner. Then convert those vector lines into one object. Use the wide all input finder. And finally, delete all the black lines and paint what is left in between. I hope it doesn't seem complicated because actually it's very simple. The coloring process can be done in a countless way. I personally like to paint all parts of the illustration in the same color at the beginning. That will give me the mood of the environment of the illustration. And if you want to make your illustration more dynamic, just use complementary colors. After that, you need to add shadows when are you done with all the colors, and this will give a new dimension to the drawing. It becomes real and deep, and the edges of the shadow are below the outline, so everything looks smooth and nice. And of course, it's the same thing with highlights. Okay people, this is the final drawing. In any case, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video, because the best is yet to come. Peace.